Welcome to the TMC Newsroom. Thanks for watching. My name is Rich Tehrani. We're on the road this week. We are in Boston, and we're speaking with some of the leading companies in the New England area. And today on our program is Sylvia, who is the EVP of Marketing at Red Ben Software. Lori, how are you?
I'm doing great, thank you.
So we met at CTIA in Las Vegas about a year or so ago, right? As I recall, it was a lot warmer there.
Yes, that's true.
Than it is here in Boston in December. And I'm sure a lot's happened. Why don't we go over, just give us a brief overview of the company again and just some of the things that are new.
Okay, great. Thanks for having me back.
You're welcome.
Red Ben Software is the leading provider of mobile software management solutions. So we enable our customers to manage firmware, applications, and devices over the air. And by the end of this year, we will have shipped our software in more than 1 billion mobile devices.
Wow.
Which makes us one of the top mobile software products excuse me, in the industry.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's it's quite an achievement. So what are some of the things that have evolved in the past few months that are exciting and worth sharing?
Okay. Well, I think one of the biggest things that has happened to Red Ben this year, in addition to reaching the significant milestone of 1 billion mobile devices, is that we announced an acquisition in September. So we have entered a new market, the mobile virtualization market, through the acquisition of Virtualization. And Virtualization is the leading provider of mobile virtualization products, and I thought that today we could talk more about what we plan to do by combining mobile software management and mobile virtualization.
Absolutely, that's fascinating because we know virtualization is becoming so important in not only the world of computing but also in the world of appliances, routers, things like that. And you know, like all technologies, once they get proven in certain markets, they tend to move down market, and with Moore's law making processors faster and faster, virtualization is possible, right, on these devices. Now the question is, what do you do with it now that it's possible? So that's what I'm hoping to figure out.
It's a great question because actually virtualization technology has been around for decades, as you know. And most people know of virtualization when it comes to things like desktops and servers, but they don't know that mobile phones can also be virtualized. And really there's two main reasons why you would want to virtualize a mobile phone. One of them is, well, first of all, mobile virtualization, let me just explain what it is. It's similar to regular virtualization technology, but in the mobile case, it allows multiple software environments to run simultaneously on the same hardware platform. And it uses a software layer called a hypervisor to create a secure separation between the software and the hardware resources inside the mobile device. So why would you want to have multiple software environments running on the same mobile phone? You would want to do that because you can have two operating systems running on the same device, or you can have two domains operating on the same device, either the same operating system in both domains or different domains. And in the case of two operating systems running on the same device, the main use case for that is to create low-cost Android smartphones. And I have one of those here in my hands. So, for example, one of our customers is ST Ericsson. And ST Ericsson had to bring to market a new chipset platform that would allow its customers, the OEMs, to bring low-cost Android smartphones to market. And they used our software, our VLX mobile virtualization software, to both increase quicken the time to market and also lower the cost to develop that chipset platform. Essentially what they did was, there's Android running on this phone, but there's also a real-time operating system. And in the RTOS are things like the modem software and hardware drivers. And it allowed ST Ericsson to reuse the software that they had already developed for their RTOS without having to port all of those all of that software and all of those capabilities to Android. And yet they're still able to bring an Android-branded smartphone or chipset platform to market at a lower cost. And their customer, which is Acer, then has this phone, which retails for about 125 euros, unsubsidized.
Wow. So basically, carriers that are looking to help OEMs produce phones more quickly, they've got a certain core competency and a certain, I guess, a library of functions and a library of software allowing the communications between the phone and the base station. And so what they're able to do is virtualize that, and then this allows them to quickly bring new phones to market by just putting on a second layer on top of these phones, whether it will be Windows Mobile or
Yes.
I guess we call it now Windows Phone 7.
Yep.
And potentially other operating systems. Let's say the Palm comes out with a newer operating system or something new comes out, you can quickly bring those things to, or bring those phones to market.
That's right. There's a lot of cost that goes into the bill of materials of a phone related to the redevelopment of software that you already had
Sure.
for another platform.
Sure.
So it allows you to reuse that, and therefore, you know, now it's Android, but next year it could be something else. And so the chipset makers are able to reuse, repurpose, have faster development time, which allows them to have a lower BOM cost for the chipset platform. They pass on those cost savings to the manufacturer like Acer, and now Acer's in the market with €125 unsubsidized Android smartphone.
So not only you come to market more quickly, but you also are able to do it less expensively. And I guess a third benefit is that you can now experiment with other platforms more quickly because you don't have to worry about putting a tremendous amount of investment in a platform that's going to fizzle.
That's right. That's right. This year in 2010, there have been 7 virtualized mobile phones that have come to market. This Acer B-Touch E110 is just one. Some other manufacturers that have adopted mobile virtualization include Motorola and HTC. So all of the chipset platform companies are adopting mobile virtualization. They see the potential for faster time to market, for cost savings, and allows them to be more flexible in what markets they address. They can produce chipsets faster and serve more types of consumer electronic devices at a lower cost.
And that's an interesting one as well. I mean, there's got to be a ton of appliances that would benefit from having the ability to take advantage of high-speed wireless networks, but it just wasn't something that there was either time to do or there wasn't the resources or the money. And now you could theoretically go out and just add on some of these components and use a virtualized environment to take the existing software. Like for example, today we met with a company that has a temperature monitoring solution. And theoretically, eventually his company came out with a device that worked with cellular networks.
Mm-hmm.
And so theoretically he could have taken his existing technology that worked with Wi-Fi and then connected it with virtualization to the core components allowing access to the wireless network, I guess the 3G network, and quickly brought that out to market.
Yeah, that's a great example. You know, another example is when we talk about multiple software environments is having 2 domains on one phone. And this is really the main reason why Red Ben acquired Virtualogics, because our business of mobile software management is really about enabling our customers to independently manage their software assets on mobile devices. And we do that through our market-leading products that perform firmware updates over the air and software and application management as well as device management. But mobile virtualization is also trying to solve the issue of managing software assets independently. And today, a lot of consumers have a phone that they use for work and another phone that they use for their personal use. Mm-hmm. One of the reasons why they have 2 different phones is because the IT department isn't confident that their enterprise applications can be securely separate from anything a consumer might download off of, you know, an app store of some kind. So with mobile virtualization combined with our mobile software management products, we will enable our customers to have secure, separate software domains. And the phone, basically, if you think about it, will be manufactured, okay, by Acer or another OEM, and it will have a section on the phone that can be managed by an operator, and the operator then can enable the IT administrator of an enterprise customer to manage the enterprise experience on that phone. And then the operator or the OEM would manage the consumer's personal experience on that phone. And you perhaps could swipe and you would get, your enterprise experience, and swipe back and you would get your personal experience. And it's the combination of both virtualization and software management that will make that a reality.
And I'm wondering if there aren't some benefits in the world of compliance, assuming that you're allowed to use virtualization in those environments, but ensuring, for example, that you have all of your corporate information secure in one virtual machine, and then on the other machine you've got the consumer area where theoretically you could get a virus, or theoretically you could get some other sort of malicious software attack, which hopefully wouldn't be able to get into this other virtualized machine. Wouldn't be able to. I mean, that's the whole point of virtualization.
That's right.
is to make sure that these machines can interact with one another. But
yeah.
That seems like a really interesting opportunity as well.
It's a great example, because here in the U.S. we have HIPAA, which is the Healthcare Information Privacy Act, and this is the reason why, a lot of doctors and other practitioners have a separate mobile device when they're dealing with patient information. But the kind of mobile virtualization product that Red Ben offers is a Type 1 hypervisor, which means it's integrated onto the bare metal. It's integrated directly onto the chipset platform. It's the most secure available. And it's the perfect kind of solution for compliance issues that will need to be.
Because there's really a firewall. I mean, it's even if there's something more secure than a firewall, it just doesn't allow the two machines to talk with one another, right?
Yes.
So that's great. So what's next with, I mean, we've talked about a lot. It's really interesting. What's next?
Well, we're already making plans for Mobile World Congress, as I know many companies are. And at the show, we're excited because we're going to be making our big announcement and splash around reaching 1 billion devices, and really throughout 2011 celebrating that milestone. And in addition, we'll be talking more about the combination of software management and virtualization, and what we can do by combining those technologies and enabling our customers to launch the next generation of mobile products and services.
Congratulations. Thanks for being on the program. This was great.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.